So let's actually start the timer this time. I screwed up the inputs. Screwed up the inputs. Do it again. Okay, that's okay. You might hear furious mashing. My world record in this category really picked up my microphone really picked up my controller. I'm gonna move my microphone back a little. Race 1. Now, I'm not worried about losing time to tutorial split because the tutorial split in my comparison run was really, really good. I got almost perfect text mashing. So I'm not worried about it being slower. Now, a full second is a little annoying, but... That's better. That's a better turn. Now, I'd like to remind you that this game came out in 2005 on DS. It looks great. At least in my opinion, it looks great. Especially upscaled using an emulator. Looks fantastic upscaled using an emulator. Now granted, I don't upscale it in speedruns because it actually breaks the first minigame. The sprites don't load. And if you want to speedrun this game, don't use Desmumi. Desmumi actually doesn't work. It lags like crazy. And you actually can't beat the game on Desmumi. Because a required cutscene doesn't load. And I don't know why. Desmumi is the most popular DS emulator. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's the most popular DS emulator that lots of people say is perfect. It's very much not perfect. I am using Melon DS. Melon DS seems to run the game very nicely. Yeah, if you want to speedrun this game, I'm very happy to share information. I want other people to speedrun this. I think this game's a blast. And the any percent category, the New Game Plus category is more like friendly, just because you don't have to spend so much time grinding. Let's see if I can do this. That last throw is a little slow, but that's okay. I honestly like the little graph on the bottom of Live Split. Now, the minigames might seem like they're kind of a drag. They're fine. There's only one that I really hate. The only minigame that's really terrible is towards the end of the game. I do have a Discord account. I don't have a Discord for this game specifically. There is the TAC Speedrunners Discord. If you check the speedrun.com page, you can get linked to it. But there's no real discussion for this game because I'm the only one who runs specifically this version of TAC 3. There are people who speedrun the other TAC games, and they're very friendly. But I am the only person who speedruns this version. Oh, I got it, okay. My Discord, though, is WoWNM. It's the same as my Twitch, and the same as my YouTube. This minigame, your time getting hit doesn't matter. You just can't lose all your life. That is a good question. I don't know. You'd have to check, I think. Maybe not this specific, like, EXE, because I don't think Macs actually support EXEs. But I think there's a version for Melon DS on Mac. I would highly recommend playing with a controller, though, if you have a controller. If your computer supports Bluetooth, you can pretty easily link up Switch Pro controller, Wii U controller, Pro controller, a Xbox controller, PlayStation controller, or you can actually just plug them in via USB too. It also works. Now, I will say, though, that before I got Bluetooth set up, the most convenient way I found of getting the game to read the controller was to boot it through Steam. Steam has really good controller support. Oh, do they? Okay, I didn't actually realize. But maybe my knowledge of Macs is very out of date. And if your computer can run Dolphin, it's probably going to be able to run Melon DS. Dolphin's more intensive. But speaking of Dolphin, TAC 3 on GameCube is TAC 3 on GameCube is legal to speedrun on Dolphin, just because it's the fastest version is Xbox. Even with Dolphin, it's still slower than Xbox. The best console, I don't know if anybody can give the best answer. My favorite console? Boy, I really love the Wii. It's because I grew up with it that I spent a lot of time as a teenager playing the Wii. And the Wii is super hackable. I don't know what you would think the best console is, though, because I think everybody would give a different answer. And I think a lot of it depends on what you grew up with. Like, my favorite versus the best. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, shit. I like the Wii. The Wii is great. It has plenty of great games. And it's backwards compatible with the GameCube, and you can play NES games, you can play through WiiWare, a whole bunch of stuff. This is a run that's going a fair amount better. Well, what is your favorite? If you would say what's the best, what would you say is the best? Because I am not sure if there is an objective best answer. Yeah, Project M was a blast, actually. The only shame was that my copy of Brawl was actually damaged, so a few characters just plain didn't work. My copy of Brawl... Oh boy, who didn't work? Ice Climbers didn't work, Rob didn't work, Jigglypuff didn't work. I think there was one other that just crashed the game. Yeah, Nintendo... It's... I have mixed feelings about Nintendo. I love a lot of their original games, but I'm not really liking the direction the company's going right now. And DMCAing everybody. Okay, so all the minigames in Act 1 are over. That was a cold? Okay. Okay. Well, their time-limited releases suck, I will say. I really don't like that, and their trend of lots of DLC and paid online, even though it's the worst online available. It's crappy peer-to-peer online, and you want me to pay for it? No. Like, I didn't have to pay for the Wii's online, but, like, the Switch online isn't any better. Really. Because it's still peer-to-peer, and I still get matched up with people halfway across the world with crazy high ping. So that was pretty good. That section there. Now, this time, I won't forget to light the torch. Don't forget to light the torch. Yeah, it's like, it sucked, but I don't think anybody cared because it was free. But then they started charging for it, but it still sucks? Why? And I liked the Wii U. It was fun. I still have my Wii U. It's in a box that it's not hooked up to my TV. But the Wii U was great. Here's where I actually want to let off the gas. Oh, I actually made that turn. Damn. Of course, I don't make this turn because I'm a little out of control. But yeah, it makes me sad that the Wii U failed. I liked the Wii U, but like it was terribly marketed. Because so many people just thought, oh, it's the controller. It's the gamepad, and it's just called the Wii U, so it's just an upgrade? Well, I have a Wii, why would I buy an upgrade? That was a very good race. That was very good. That was gold. Okay, Parched Lands. This is my favorite segment of the run, just because it's so cool. You do a bunch of skips. Okay, so that's not quite right. Ah, no, I screwed it up. There. Now, there aren't very many visual markers here. You kind of just have to go by feel till you get it. Don't dash here. Even if you have magic, don't dash here because you're liable to clip back in bounds. Yeah, there's a fair chance you'll clip back in bounds. So don't do it. Clipping back in bounds there sucks. It's super easy to do. Okay, so here is going to be lobster rock skip. If I can get it. Come on, you see how Tack like twitches a little? Ideally, he just like clips through this wall. Oh, he's almost doing it. Come on, Tack, I'm losing time here. Tack, please. Tack, please. I've never had so much trouble clipping through here. He's almost doing it every time. Tack, please, clip through. There it is. Oh my god. That was bad. That sucked. Now, in any percent, Locke is your fighter. But in New Game Plus, Tack is so overpowered. Yeah, the switch felt really locked down. It was kind of a shame. Okay, here is a tricky point. Because here is a very important skip, but it's quite tough. And I've only ever gotten it to work as Locke. I don't know why. I almost jumped too early there. Oh, I got it first try. Nice. That's an important skip to get. Nice. Now, I lost a bunch of time just because I was slow with the first clip, and the second clip took me a lot of time. Yeah, I'll agree there. I screwed that up a little bit. Okay, so here is my favorite part of the run. Check this. Watch carefully. Favorite part of the run. I screwed that up. There. I used the wrong attack. Whoops. Okay. So, I used the wrong attack there, which is annoying. Because you can one-shot that boss in New Game Plus. I two-shot it, kind of. But you can one-shot it in New Game Plus. Annoyingly, I used the wrong attack. And yeah, I watched the Nintendo Direct earlier. I would recommend it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but I enjoyed it. I usually do, though, so... I don't actively hate Nintendo Directs. I want to learn more. And I like that they have a little presentation. Okay, so here is race 3. After race 3 is the halfway point of the game. I went the wrong way. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. Ah. I would recommend it. It's cool. I love the bouncing in this race. I just love how you can do a bunch of stupid bouncing around corners. Ah, bump. Okay. This race, I will have to focus a little. Because a single mistake kills the run. Who got in Smash? It was... Pyra. And... What was her name? Two characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They're one fighter, but it's two characters. I know Pyra, I don't know the other name. Okay, am I gonna go for this skip? I'm gonna go for it. So that corner cut there saves 5 seconds. But you can only do it with a speed upgrade. Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, two of the blades from it made it. They're one character, but it's two blades. That race was okay. I'm just like fine with it. But yeah, some people are probably quite salty. Here, you don't actually switch characters. There's a few skips here, actually. A few skips rolled into one segment. So I'm going to be quiet here. I didn't get it, did I? I did. Okay. That's part 1. Part 2 is this. I screwed that up. Ah, I screwed it up. I screwed that jump up too. I don't want this to be where the run dies. Come on. I don't have time to do another run, so I'm just probably going to play this to the end. Okay, that's what I was supposed to do. That's what I was supposed to do. That's annoying. I lost a bunch of time there. Did that make it? Yes. Do this. So I'm gonna do a skip here in a minute. It is a sheep balancing skip. Sheep balancing is an annoying minigame. But thankfully, you can skip doing it. You don't have to do it. This is an intentional death. It's faster to death warp than it is to go back. That damn lily pad. That lily pad is bad collision. Now, general rule of thumb is use tack in New Game Plus because he has all the movement upgrades, but lock carries things faster. So, and I'm keeping this guy off camera so he's not moving. Because when they're not on camera and they're more than just a little bit of a distance away, they're not moving. So here is a tough skip. Well, tough in the sense that it's very precise. Got it. That's a pretty precise throw, but that lets you skip a minigame. Okay. Yeah, that's that minigame. Sheep balancing is not a very fun minigame, I will say. It's really janky, and it's RNG. So it's not very fun. This is gator surfing. The controls aren't great because you steer with the touchscreen. Yeah, my time on the split's not going to be very good just because I screwed up the gator skip. If you're trying out the speedrun of this game, though, don't feel pressed to do all the skips. There's some that, like, missing them kills your run, and it saves, like, 3 seconds. There's one I'm going to be doing later that saves 10 seconds, but if I miss it, I lose 15. But that skip there, sheep balancing skip, I would say is worth it just because it saves having to do sheep balancing. And sheep balancing is just an annoying minigame. And sheep balancing skip saves 45 seconds or so. The minigame's about a minute long, but you don't save a minute because you do have to backtrack to get the sheep. And carrying the sheep is a bit slow. Okay, that's minigame. Over. Okay. So here's a cool section. This is the biggest room in the game. Oh, I hit that boulder. Nice. That raises some platforms. You have to do this. Well, you don't have to, but there's a very annoying glitch to skip it. And it doesn't save any time. But what I will do is a very unassuming looking jump in just like 30 seconds here. It doesn't look very impressive, but it actually saves 2 minutes. It's not a very impressive looking jump. Right about here. Doesn't look impressive, but saves 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes saved. Geez, maybe 2.5. Saves quite a bit of time. And it's a very unassuming looking jump. It's kind of stupid. But it saves a ton of time. It skips a bunch of stuff. Now, the jump looks a little weird because you actually have to avoid an invisible wall that's put there to prevent you from doing that. But they didn't do a very good job at preventing you from doing that. Oh no, get away from me. Get away from me. So this thing, you want to hit it. You don't have to hit it right away, but you want all three to be hit before you actually reach the middle platform, because it'll start moving as soon as all three are hit. And then you wait a sec, and then you drop down. Of course, I get hit. So this minigame is a minigame that I'd love to skip. In theory, it's skippable. But I am not going to be talking during it because I have to concentrate. Because it goes faster if you concentrate. You have to reflect these things pretty early so that they home in and hit them. Because if you don't reflect it early enough, it'll just reflect. The sound is a little different. You might be able to hear it if you listen carefully. And there's a little particle effect. There it is. Okay. So the minigame ends when you reach the end, or when those guys die. And reflecting the shots can make the minigame end early. So this is a quite cool looking segment. I really like how this area looks. Except it's probably some of the most difficult platforming in the game. I'm gonna miss this cycle. I missed the cycle. So that jump I just did there is very, very precise, but it does save quite a lot of time. It saves 10 seconds. Like, if you're just starting out speedrunning this game, I would say don't bother. Just do it the intended way, which is hitting a bunch of switches and then crossing the blocks that appear. The way I just did is super risky. And if you screw it up, well, that's a huge amount of time loss. If you're standing on this platform, you want to run in circles, because that guy can hit you. And if he hits you, he'll knock you off, and if he knocks you off, you respawn at the last point. This cutscene here doesn't load properly on Desmumi. I mean, Desmumi actually lags like crazy in this game, so don't play it on Desmumi. But you can't beat it on Desmumi because that cutscene is required, and it just doesn't play. For whatever reason, the cutscene trigger is tilted 90 degrees, and when you touch it, the screen fades to black, and then the cutscene never plays. Because you need to watch that cutscene to watch this cutscene. I just did the old route. Okay, that's not a huge deal. It loses a few seconds, but... This, you're supposed to light a torch to move that. You can actually just go around it. You're supposed to light a torch to make the wall fall down to go past, but you could just go around it. I didn't light the torch. Cutscene in grass is the next, like, cutscene. I'm gonna do a kind of risky jump. Saves 10 seconds. Screw it up, loses 15. In any percent, Locke is the guy you want to fight enemies, but Tack is king in New Game Plus. He is insane. This is a very risky jump. That jump there saves 10 seconds. But it relies on you hugging some collision and sticking to a wall you're not really supposed to be able to stick to. So this is cutscene in grass. Also, the water here is flowing backwards. But cutscene in grass, I don't split till this fades to black. Okay, that's cutscene in grass. And yeah, this water flows backwards. It's a very strange quirk. I'm pretty sure it's just a sign that's backwards. It should be a positive or a negative. And then you run through here a second time. And you be careful of this guy, because he very often will knock you off the edge. So you be very careful around that guy. And you might think like, oh, I'll kill him so he's not in the way, but watching the cutscene respawns everything, so I shouldn't have changed characters. So, the reason I had to do all that stuff, what was going on there, I had to trigger that first cutscene to be able to trigger the second cutscene, to be able to trigger cutscene in grass, to be able to trigger the minigame. Because the minigame doesn't appear till you've watched all three of those cutscenes. And you actually need to do the minigame, because you can't get to the next area otherwise. But coming up is the last minigame in the game. I am going to do a skip here that I haven't practiced. Easy. I just missed the cycle. That's maze skip. That saves 15, 20 seconds by clipping through a wall. If you're fast, you can get this platform on the first cycle. I just missed it. And then you can just sprint over here, hit this, and then get this platform. I've made up a lot of time, actually. Okay, so look, this is technically the most impressive minigame. It's pretty cool, visually. Where are you, enemies? Oh my god, I'm losing so much time. Where are the enemies? This is technically the most impressive minigame, like from a technical perspective. There's a button to specifically target the Black Mist. Don't bother, just tank their hits. You have way more health than you actually need. Goal is to kill 10 of these things. It's not to hit the black mist. Don't bother with the black mist. Where? There. Okay, that's the minigame. I love how that minigame looks. It just kind of plays janky. Here's the enemy gauntlet. This is the last, like, platforming-ish section of the run. There's not a whole lot of platforming here, though. It's mostly just beat on enemies. And tack is overpowered. Yeah, take care. Have a good rest of your night, and thanks for tuning in. This is unlikely to be world record, but it could still have a chance. There's only a few minutes left, though, if you want to tune in. But it being 3 a.m., it's your call. Like, the run's over in 5 minutes. Just your call if you want to stay. But I don't blame you if you leave. It's late. This enemy. Let's see how quickly I can do this gauntlet. I don't think this is going to be world record. It could be. Final boss is pretty quick in New Game Plus. Another little optimization, little nice thing about New Game Plus is you don't level up because you're max level. Leveling up loses about a half second every time you do it. Or about a second every time you do it. Ah, stupid enemy. General rule of thumb here is, and I'm not doing it, is keep only 1 or 2 enemies on screen at a time. Because they're not moving when they're not on screen. Attack's almost out of magic. So, I'm actually going to grab these feathers. Got hit. Okay, so final boss is here. I might actually get it. I might actually get my goal. I might actually get this. I'm gonna get it. I missed an input. I got it. Yes. Oh shit. Nice. I actually got it. I did not actually expect that. I'm gonna have to retime that because I was a little slow on the last split, so I think I was 34, 44, 36. But damn, I didn't expect that. Alright, sure.